Allí le está, jefe. Ya, pues acuéstate, que mañana a las 8 te llamo para que vayas a recoger las paelleras. Y me acuesto en ya para abrir el restaurante que era el arroz. Y me llama el cocinero. Risita, ¿qué? Ve por la paellera. Venga, que a las 2 de la tarde ya están aquí. Mira, en bañador, en las chanclas. Todo despeinado porque no me dio tiempo nada ponerme las chanclas y el bañador. Voy a la playa, había subido la marea. ¿Y tú?
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. There's really only one valid response here. There's nothing to be said, there's no actual words to be spoken, it's more just emotion to be conveyed. And that emotion is that of joy and laughter, pointing the finger and laughing hysterically. Actually, maybe there are some words to be spoken. That's looking these Twitter blue anon leftoids straight in the face and saying, I told you so. What did you think was gonna happen? Ah man, they build these narratives and these ideas and these expectations upon a weak paper structure, scaffolding built out of freaking toothpicks, and they expect the structure to not collapse. But the problem is, the moment you add reality to the equation, the entire thing bursts and crumbles straight to the ground. The Soros-funded Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's case has officially collapsed. Now, of course, I'm always going to add on top of that we don't know that definitively. Maybe they do have some secret smoking gun evidence, or maybe they're just going to end up pursuing indictments regardless with a totally compromised grand jury, but it's really looking like that's not going to be the case. If I was a betting man, I'd tell you pretty much 95%, maybe even 99% odds the investigation, the charges are all going to be dropped. Donald Trump is securing yet again another win, and honestly, it seems like Donald Trump may have orchestrated this entire news cycle to benefit himself. And if that's the case, then you gotta admit it at this point. Donald Trump is an absolute media genius. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, take a look at this headline right over here. We got an update from yesterday after the grand jury proceedings were called for the day. Breaking: grand jury to reconvene in New York at noon, but charges against Trump won't be considered until next week. So supposedly, 12 p.m. on Thursday, the grand jury was supposed to reconvene. I guess Democrats in New York were scrambling to try to turn the headlines around. No, everything's still going on. After we sent everyone home on Wednesday, don't panic, leftoids, the investigation's still going. Well, that didn't last very long. Not even 24 hours later, in fact, probably just a couple hours later, the grand jury is told to go home for the week. Breaking: grand jury in Alvin Bragg's Trump case released until next week. I actually had another headline which I thought was even better from the Daily Mail, but the corrupt media does what the corrupt media usually does, and they changed the headline at the last second here. Dishonest media always does this. Let me show you guys really quick. The Daily Mail initially wrote with the headline, Trump grand jury canceled for the rest of the week, Alvin Bragg facing even more questions as panel's vote on an indictment is pushed back to at least next week as he, quote, struggles with, quote, weak case. That's the proper headline, but they changed it to, they tell us to be peaceful. Trump issues another threat and tells Soros-backed animal Alvin Bragg to drop the Stormy Daniels case as grand jury is canceled for the rest of the week and questions grow about looming indictment. You know, Daily Mail, I really preferred the first headline, but I have to admit, even though the second headline is a clear attack on Donald Trump, the whole Soros-backed animal Alvin Bragg line, ironically, kind of unintentionally saves the whole thing. They're promoting this headline trying to make Donald Trump look pretty bad, but he ends up looking pretty based. This case is falling apart faster than you could possibly imagine. The left was coping after the news on Wednesday. Grand jury hearing Trump evidence did not meet on Wednesday. The Manhattan grand jury that has been hearing evidence about Donald Trump's involvement with a hush money payment to a porn star did not meet on Wednesday, according to two people with knowledge of the matter, meaning that any indictment of the former president would come on Thursday at the earliest. They just keep freaking coping. Don't worry, Donald Trump won't get arrested on Wednesday, but he can still get arrested on Thursday. Womp womp womp. The news comes on Thursday that everyone's getting sent home for the rest of the week. Not exactly looking good, but it gets even worse for Manhattan's Soros-backed Potato Man DA in his pathetic little case. Now it seems as though Alvin Bragg is probably trying to save himself from potential disbarment. District Attorney Alvin Bragg is now backpedaling, says Trump arrest was a false expectation.
You serious?
Alvin Bragg's district attorney office released a letter claiming that Trump created a, quote, false expectation about his alleged arrest. This is Alvin Bragg's response to the GOP House, calling him in for questioning. His office's response to the Honorable Jim Jordan, Brian Steele, and James Comer. Your letter dated March 20th, 2023, in contrast, is an unprecedented inquiry into a pending local prosecution. The letter only came after Donald Trump created a, quote, false expectation that he would be arrested the next day, and his lawyers reportedly urged you to intervene. Neither fact is a legitimate basis for congressional inquiry. So now it's a false expectation, even though the NYPD was preparing for his extradition. No, it wasn't a false expectation of arrest. You fully planned on charging him. It's just that Robert Costello, the last-minute surprise witness, who absolutely imploded your entire case, stopped you from politically persecuting the former president of the United States. What a frickin' clown show. This is the legal system, by the way, a system that should be revered and trusted. The amount of damage that George Soros alone is doing is incalculable. But of course, you already know that. We don't need to keep rehashing the same points over and over again. What I do want to talk about, however, is the timeline of events here. You know, I think Alvin Bragg fully intended on arresting Donald Trump. I think the events that followed, specifically the last week or so, were unexpected and unintended. I think Donald Trump made some frickin' genius moves here and played everybody. I think he knew what Alvin Bragg was up to, and he got ahead of it. And he said, Alvin Bragg is going to arrest me on Tuesday. He got his name everywhere in the news. Clearly there was uproar and outrage. His political stock started to skyrocket. We're now hearing reports that the Trump campaign has fundraised over $1.5 million since he announced that he was likely to get arrested. But I think the entire time, Donald Trump knew that he was holding the death knell to this investigation. He had Robert Costello in the documents that recently surfaced, and so he played the media. He got all the leftoids looking like fools, claiming the walls are closing in, Donald Trump's gonna get arrested, the orange jumpsuit talk, and then boom, made them all look like a bunch of Soviet-style tyrants, and then boom, sent in Robert Costello and absolutely decimated Alvin Bragg's entire case. Fundraised $1.5 million, mostly restored his political stock. It all seems like a 4D chess move. The Democrats playing dirty frickin' games, and Donald Trump outsmarting all of them. I don't know. Looking at the timeline, that's kind of what it looks like. And if that's the case, then it's absolutely frickin' epic. And really the only thing that I conclude is a guy like that, a guy who can play those kinds of 4D chess moves, is probably the guy that you want leading foreign policy as the commander-in-chief in Washington. Trump is back, baby. They try to take him down, but he dodges their bullets like Neo from the frickin' Matrix. Absolutely based. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.